Welcome back to Daily Devotions. We're still going through the parables of Jesus, and today we're going to start actually stepping into a series of parables from Luke, because we're going in order, and there are a bunch of parables here in Luke that we haven't already covered in Matthew and Mark. So we're going to start in Luke 10, starting in verse 25. It's a parable that I think a lot of people know and a lot of people are familiar with, even kind of in the culture at large. So it says, "Behold, a lawyer stood up to put him, Jesus, to the test, saying, 'Teacher, what shall I do to inherit eternal life?' He said to him, 'What is written in the law? How do you read it?' He answered, 'You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, strength, mind, and your neighbor as yourself.' And Jesus said to him, 'You have answered correctly. Do this, and you will live.' But he, desiring to justify himself, said to Jesus, 'And who is my neighbor?' Jesus replied, 'A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he fell among robbers, who stripped him, beat him, and departed, leaving him half dead. Now by chance a priest was going down that road, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. So likewise a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, pass by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he journeyed, came to where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion. He went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he set him on his own animal and brought him to an inn and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper, saying, 'Take care of him, and whatever more you spend I will repay you when I come back.' Which of these 3 do you think proved to be a neighbor to the man who fell among the robbers?" He said, "The one who showed him mercy." Jesus said to him, "You go and do likewise." And the first, I guess, comment I want to make on this parable is that we, in culture today, in at least in the circles I've experienced, the compliment of Good Samaritan comes up a lot. Or maybe doesn't come up a lot, but it's widely recognized, right? Like, if you're merciful, if you're showing compassion, you're a good Samaritan. There are organizations who operate with this title, right? The point, one of the notable things about this parable is the Samaritan is supposed to be a bad person, right? Because the rhetorical kind of flow of this is, the priest, you'd think the priest, a godly man, would stop and help this person. Or the Levite, again, like from a holy family, you'd think they'd stop to help this person. No, it's the Samaritan. And Samaritans hate Jews. Jews hate Samaritans. Like, this is a widely established cultural reality of the time. So it's playing on the fact that even though the Samaritan wouldn't have considered himself a neighbor to this person on the side of the road, he acted in such a way that made him his neighbor. And it broadens our definition, right? It removes this cop-out of, well, I love my neighbor because I love the people who live right next to me. It's especially easy if you live out in the middle of nowhere, right? This expands it to conceivably everyone you meet and know. So, but that's the point here, is we are called to love everyone we meet, everyone we interact with, as ourselves. But I think it's interesting that we use Good Samaritan as a compliment, because the whole point is that it's like shocking he's a good person. It would be like saying to someone, "Wow, you were really nice to me, and I can't believe it because you were such a terrible person." Like, would be like an expanded, anyway. So, interesting choice of compliment terminology that our society has decided to hold on to. So, brothers and sisters, go in peace. Serve the Lord. Thanks be to God.